the Junior Band of the Year competition with her portrayal, Panorama.
A really creative band, if I may say so. I really was impressed by this band. They really called for a lot of thought and some neatly made costumes.
I don't know if you know this lady, Rosalind Gabriel, but every year she says to me, Alison, I'm so tired, I'm not doing it again next year. And I go, see you next year, Rosalind, because she just has a love of Carnival.
Well, you know, prior to this, we had Richard Bartholomew dominating this area, and I think he reached a point where he said, enough is enough. So it's good that she rose to take up the new challenge.
Okay, we missed giving the name of the costume that went ahead called Fire and Steel.
We
and
saw
now
Glenn
we're
Bugsy
looking
Sharp and now Guy Bradley, Neville Jules.
Ellie Manette.
On your screen now, Ellie Manette.
Bertie Marshall.
Bertie Marshall just passed, actually.
And here's Rudolph. Rudolph Charles.
Rudolph Fisheye Oliver.
I thought that was him, Fisheye.
Oscar Pye.
Oscar Pyle, one of the living legends of the pioneers of steel orchestra. And there's Ray Holman, of course.
Ray Anthony Holman.
Well, I think Pan Trinbago ought to ask Rosalind Gabriel if they could purchase these backpacks from her to hang in their offices or wherever they've set up their headquarters, because this is absolutely beautiful, these replicas.
And this is followed by the float of the band, the engine room. A round of applause for Rosalind Gabriel's Panorama champs. This is the Tiny Mice, the engine room.
We must remind you that you are looking at the Junior Band of the Year. And on stage you now see the Panorama 2000 engine room coming on stage.
On stage, Mark is 6 years old and is a symbol of a champion.
If this band had been expanded, this could have won Band of the Year.
Yes, I think so. I'm happy to say that the Junior Carnival for many years has been creeping up, and it is really giving the senior bands a lot to think about, because the costumes, there's much more thought and design put into the costumes, and the portrayals, the children in their innocence. Really, look, I'm hoping that we'll get a close-up of the engine room once again, where we have 2, 5, and 6-year-olds. There they are at the back. And just look at them. They're playing their pan. They know the movements.
Well, I think it's a great idea to have the children in a mobile thing, because I remember when a couple of my children were playing at age 3 and 4. By the time they had jumped the entire stage here,
they're exhausted.
I had to be waiting on the other end for him to dive into my arms.
Alvin, when I do the stage, I am looking to dive into somebody's arms.
And her section, Starlet.
What we're seeing now is various costumes depicting all aspects of the Panorama competition, and then as the bands come on now, each section will represent one of the big bands in Carnival throughout the years.
I think we saw a section just a while ago that was called Starlift, actually, one of the bands from Woodbrook with a long tradition from 63 till now. In fact, founded in the year 55. And last night celebrated 44 years.
Well, this is the Starlift section here.
Yes, last night they had a prize given. 44 years they celebrated in the business, and really a lot of rich tradition being displayed last night.
Lovely. Silver and gold costumes here, and they are followed. Starlift. We're trying to catch a glimpse of the banners. Oh, this is Tokyo coming up there in the, well, Carib Tokyo. You can see the costumes there in blue and yellow. Another individual.
Oh, the one we saw with the red and black was Crossfire, one of the old steel bands from St. James.
Han Night, a tribute to Ellie Manning.
Well, we saw Hatters on stage earlier on. This is the Hatters section on stage now, and you can see the large skirts representing virtually looking like large sombreros. The costumes absolutely lovely there in fuchsia and green and blue. A lovely combination. And each section that you're seeing coming up on stage is preceded by an individual bringing them on. And every time you think you've seen something really wonderful, you see something even better.
Amanda Sulis, Exodus, the power to glory. Followed by a section, Exodus.
This is the All-Stars section now, here in blue and silver. This one is easy to recognize because numerous stars used on their backpack and headdresses.
And it's very clever that the designer has used the names of the band to come up with a theme for the costumes, and that really makes it easy to depict. It's a very, very beautiful idea and well represented.
A glimpse of Hatters once again, followed by the All-Stars.
This is Rodman's presentation,
Desperados coming up next.
Well, the young lady who won the Queen of Carnival is also one of the characters of this band. This is the Exodus Steel Orchestra.
In your typical black and white and silver.
Well, we've lost them on the screen now. The ones we're looking at is the
Skiffle Bunch.
That's Skiffle Bunch, okay.
And this is the Merry-Tone section.
Well, then we have the Invaders, and you can guess how that would be represented.
This is followed by Dominique Samaru, Casablanca, a historical tribute. Dominique Samaru, Casablanca, a historical tribute. Followed by a section, Casablanca.
Merry Tones, next section are depicted.
Well,
it certainly, this makes you realize how many steel bands we have here in Trinidad and Tobago. This is the Skiffle Bunch.
Followed by the section, Tropical Angel Harp.
Well, you should be hearing Casablanca is on your screen now. And I believe Tropical Angel Harps would follow.
Casablanca, one of the older, or I should say oldest steel bands in TNT, represented here. And this must be the, yes, you're right, Adam, this has to be Angel Harp.
Tropical Angels, I must say, look very, very interesting.
I really always look forward to seeing Rosalind Gabriel's band on stage. And I think, you know, you could just hear from the applause coming from the audience that they too are appreciating the children, how much they're enjoying jumping up to the music, but also how beautifully Rosalind and her designers, her group who get together, how beautifully they've managed to create a lovely effect here on the stage, and the colors are absolutely dramatic. Here, this is a nice choreographed piece being done.